Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today and Tarot. My name is Mel Rose. This is the Tarot portion and the second half of my daily astrology vlog, which you can check out on my other channel, Astrology Today with Mel Rose. Over there, you will find a description of the day's astrology as I've spelled it out here. Here, I'll discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page, and then I'll play another card that, in the context of today's astrology, may just give us something more to think about. So, let's get into it. The card that currently sits on the side of the page is the Eight of Cups, and it is here because it corresponds in astrology with the first 10 days or the first decan of the sun's transit here in the land of Pisces. Pisces is a water sign. Cups in tarot represent water element symbolism, and water element symbolism has to do with the feeling life, our emotions, our relationships, what we love, what our intuition has to say to us, and also what our physical habits are, because the way things feel, includes our physical sensation. So we come to the Eight of Cups, and we see a sort of a moment where somebody has chosen to walk away. And what I really notice right up front in this picture is that the colors of the scenery are somewhat muted and dark looking. There's, it looks like a lunar eclipse, like the moon is eclipsing the sun there. So that would be our feelings sort of eclipsing our sense of purpose, right? And then we see these 8 cups stacked up and this person sort of walking away. And this is a card, again, about walking away, much like the Six of Swords. It's about disillusionment. We're leaving something behind. When it comes to cups, often we make an emotional investment. We give our love, we give our regard, we give our enthusiasm to, a project, an event, a person, place, or thing. And, the investment that we make doesn't get reciprocated. We don't get the return on it we're looking for, right? And we just don't feel very satisfied with it. It's a very disappointing sort of feeling, right? And feeling that disappointment, we realize that we're at a loss. We have given up something in terms of our time and our affection, our real emotional investment in something. We've given up, a part of ourselves here to be invested in this, and we realize that our investment is taking us nowhere. So we're going to abandon this project, event, person, place, or thing, right? We're going to leave it behind. We know that we've lost a part of ourselves. We're going to feel that morning, but we're not even going to really stand around to think about it. We're just going to move on. We know that satisfaction is not here, so we're going to go seek it somewhere else, right? So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and turn this card over. Oh, we got the Hermit today. We're using the Luna. Oh, excuse me, friends. I didn't mean to shake you up like that. We're using the Luna edition of the Ethereal Visions Tarot today. I love the shiny holographic aspect of this, and I also just love that these are really Art Nouveau style pictures. That's something that really appeals to me. This is the Hermit card. Hermit is major arcana. It's like a major message card. And the Hermit is somebody who sort of retreats from society, who sort of rejects the regular way of doing things, the regular way of looking at things, thinking about things, feeling things. The Hermit sort of rejects the world, but not just out of a sense of sort of not out of a sense of like hating people or not wanting to be a part of the world, so much as it is about seeking wisdom, right? Like going deep on the esoteric knowledge, seeking a form of wisdom that can't be found in the day-to-day life of ordinary people. And the Hermit goes in search of that knowledge and that wisdom, for the sake of shining a light for others, right? For being a beacon of knowledge and hope and understanding that there's really more to life than the simple life that most of us live, right? So, it strikes me that there's a skull on this card, right? I don't usually see a skull in a Hermit card. I see the lantern. The lantern is meant to shine a light. There's a little bell on the end of this one's staff, so perhaps this is like a bell of mindfulness, right? It helps us bring us back to the contemplation that we're working on and not get distracted. But the skull there, it makes me think in terms of sort of, the death of one way of being so that we can adopt a different way of being. We sort of die to the life that we had. We reject, the regular trappings of an ordinary life so that we can become this person who sort of, isolates themselves for the sake of gaining knowledge and wisdom, right? So there is a little bit of a death that happens there so that we can become the hermit. We have to let go of the person we were before. But it's really very much just about wisdom. It's about gaining information, knowledge, and, a desire not only to have that knowledge, but to have it so that we can share it with others, so that we can bring enlightenment, not just to ourselves, but to the collective. So where do we see the hermit on the page here? Okay, so, in terms of knowledge and understanding, I would probably go with Mercury here in Aquarius, which is approaching a conjunction with Saturn. Are they within 10 degrees of one another yet? No, they are not quite. Saturn, 28 and 17. So no, they're not quite within 10 degrees yet. So they are not in conjunction essentially yet, but Mercury is going to get there in the next couple of days, and then they're really going to close in on one another. And this is really about taking information in for the serious purpose of sort of gaining structure and stability, for doing, we use that information to do the work that helps us feel like we have the structure and stability, the networks for stability, the structures around ourselves that we need to feel secure. I don't know how well I'm describing that, but when Mercury and Saturn get together like that, it's really going to be about expressing. It's going to be about like taking in the knowledge, bringing it to a place of understanding so that we can express it in a way that doesn't just provide security to us, but provides a sense of security to anybody within earshot of us. So it's also about vision. Mercury is about our vision for our lives today and in the near future. It's about our ability to communicate, to express what it is that we have learned. And with Saturn, it's going to be about expressing those things we've learned about really, those things that provide us a sense of security and stability in this life. So I see that in the Hermit. I also see Pluto in Capricorn in the Hermit, just in that, the Hermit is a person who transforms themselves so that they can become a bringer of transformation and enlightenment to other people. And Pluto in Capricorn is all about the transformation. It brings us through those high highs. Pluto brings us through those high highs and those low lows that give us the experience that transform eventually our entire perspective and approach to life. And, it's been in Capricorn for over 20 years now. So, Capricorn is very much about those institutional structures, those tried and true ways of being culturally, and also those habitual ways of being that we have as individuals. And Pluto's just been going through Capricorn saying, sort of pointing to what doesn't do what it says it's going to do, and tearing down that structure, making it ready for transformation, which is often kind of a tower moment where things fall apart, right? So Pluto's been tearing down. If you look at the last 20 years and how much things have changed and how many things you thought would be a reality forever in the world that simply are not anymore, or things that you thought would be important, or, sort of unshakable in the world, have been completely shaken down and transformed, or at least brought to their knees, or brought into, this position of needing to be rebuilt. That's been Pluto in Capricorn, and Pluto is about to transform itself by moving into Aquarius very soon. Saturn is going to transform itself by moving into Pisces very soon. Saturn in Pisces is going to be about realizing how, like, coming to the wisdom, understanding of how we can turn our dreams, the things that we imagine, into reality. While Pisces, Pluto is going to move into Aquarius and start talking to us about how we can transform our personal and collective approaches to institution and habitual ways of being, to tried and true ways of doing things, how we can transform our approaches so that they're more supportive of everybody. So I see the Hermit in, I guess, a couple of different places on the page today. But really this is about personal transformation for the sake of bringing light and enlightenment to other people. And taken together with the Eight of Cups here, again, we have two people with a staff, right? So, and here we have a light being sort of eclipsed, while here we have a light being shown, right? So often I think that, a person falls into the Hermit category, where they sort of reject their old way of being, their old life. They reject the simple approach to life, for a more deeper, Plutonian, sort of deeper and introspective and transformative approach to looking at life. Because they find that everywhere they invest themselves, they don't find the satisfaction they're looking for. They don't find the depth that they're looking for, right? They don't, I can make all this emotional investment in something because I think it means more than it really does to the other people involved. But then the other people involved don't see that it means that much. They don't understand or really kind of grok the depth of my investment, or they don't necessarily understand or grok the importance, the depth and the importance of what we're trying to do here, right? On all levels. They don't get the as above, so below of it, right? They just think, this is what we're doing, it's going to be great, yay. And you're like, oh, I'm invested in this for much more, I guess, intense and transformative reasons than other people are. And while I'm here, investing my heart, my love, my enthusiasm, because I think we're working on this sort of transformative way of being, other people are just like, yeah, we're going to stack up these cups, it's going to look great. Right? I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. I have a feeling that it will. But anyway, not finding that satisfaction, feeling that disappointment, we sort of move on. And in the mode of moving on, we're leaving behind this old way of doing things that we thought would be satisfying, but that just sort of lacks the depth and intensity that we need from it, right? And so we become more like the Hermit. We let go of the parts of our lives that are more addicted to, say, consuming things, or we let go of certain parts of our lives that are more addicted to simply being entertained in some way, or we let go of the parts of our lives, that are more devoted to just sort of being able to escape, or being able to feel good, regardless of what that detracts from our lives in terms of profundity and depth, right? So we give up that part of our lives where we perceive things as being pretty shallow and not worthy of our emotional investment, and in doing so, we sort of transform ourselves into people who seek deeper knowledge, who seek more profound understanding of the world as it is and as it could be. And when we come to that space, we realize that it's not just for ourselves that we want to learn that more profound understanding, but also so that we can share it with others, right? So we walk away from this from out of the shallows, right? We're far from the shallows now when we get into the Hermit mode, right? It's that we've gone deep. And some people will look at you when you're in Hermit mode and they'll say, too deep, too much, don't want to have those conversations, thank you very much. And those are the people that are not there to receive your message, right? But there will be people who are there to receive your message, who want to be inspired by the fresh understanding and wisdom that you've come to. So yes, this is a path to a certain kind of satisfaction. And I would go so far as to say that it can be emotionally satisfying to, to sort of detach yourself from old ways of trying to connect with people in that emotionally profound way that other people don't necessarily find themselves capable of or interested in. Being able to detach yourself from your desire to connect in that way, and therefore give yourself over to an ability to connect on a different level, on not just an intellectual level, but also on a spiritual level, and just on a level of sort of bringing the depth for those of us who don't find satisfaction in the shallows. Okay, I think that's all I have to say about it today, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate your presence here. My name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today and Tarot.